Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. At first, that sounds simple. You might think Mercury is just a burning hot world, scorched by sunlight every second of its existence. And on one side, that is true. The surface facing the Sun can become extremely hot. But Mercury has a secret that makes it even stranger. When night falls, the same planet can become freezing cold. A world burning by day and freezing by night. Mercury is not just the closest planet to the Sun. It is a planet of extremes. A small rocky world trapped between intense sunlight, deep darkness, and one of the harshest environments in the inner solar system. Mercury orbits closer to the Sun than any other planet. From Mercury, the Sun would look much larger and brighter than it does from Earth. The sunlight is intense. The surface is constantly bombarded by radiation, charged particles, and extreme heat. But Mercury is also small. It is only a little larger than Earth's moon. It has no thick atmosphere to protect it, no clouds to soften the sunlight, and no oceans to store heat. Because of this, Mercury experiences the Sun in a very direct way. There is almost nothing between the planet and the star. No shield, no weather system like Earth's, no thick blanket of air. Just rock, sunlight, and space. That is what makes Mercury so extreme. During the day, Mercury's surface becomes brutally hot. Temperatures can rise to around 430 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to melt some metals. The ground is dry, cracked, and covered in craters. There is no rain, no wind like on Earth, no atmosphere thick enough to move heat around the planet. The sunlight hits the surface directly, heating the rocks to extreme temperatures. If you could stand there, protected somehow, the Sun would dominate the sky. It would feel less like standing on a planet and more like standing next to a cosmic furnace. Mercury's day side is one of the most hostile places in the solar system, a world where the Sun never feels distant. But Mercury's night side tells a completely different story. Without sunlight, the surface temperature can drop to around minus 180 degrees Celsius. That is an enormous temperature difference. How can the closest planet to the Sun become so cold? The answer is Mercury's almost non-existent atmosphere. On Earth, our atmosphere helps move heat around the planet. It traps warmth and spreads energy from day to night. Mercury does not have that protection. When the Sun sets, the heat escapes quickly back into space. The surface that was burning in sunlight becomes frozen in darkness. This is what makes Mercury so strange. It is both one of the hottest and one of the coldest places among the rocky planets. Not because it is far from the Sun, but because it cannot hold on to heat. Mercury's surface looks ancient. It is covered in craters, cliffs, and impact scars. At first glance, it can look similar to the Moon. But Mercury has its own story. For billions of years, asteroids and comets have struck its surface. Because Mercury has almost no atmosphere, incoming objects do not burn up before impact. They hit the ground directly. Each crater is a record of violence, a mark left by the early solar system. Mercury also has long cliffs called scarps. These may have formed as the planet cooled and shrank over time. Imagine an entire planet slowly contracting, its crust cracking and folding as the inside cooled. Mercury is small, but its surface tells the story of a world shaped by impacts, heat, and time. One of the strangest things about Mercury is that it may contain ice. That sounds impossible. How can ice exist on the closest planet to the Sun? The answer is shadows. Near Mercury's poles, some deep craters never receive direct sunlight. Their floors remain in permanent darkness. Because Mercury has almost no atmosphere to spread heat, these shadowed regions can stay extremely cold. Cold enough for water ice to survive. So on the same planet where daytime temperatures can become hotter than an oven, ice may hide in dark polar craters. This is one of Mercury's greatest contradictions. A planet blasted by the sun, yet cold enough in some places to preserve frozen water. Mercury is not simple. It is a world of extremes, sitting right next to our star. Mercury is easy to overlook. It is small, it has no clouds, no rings, no moons, no blue oceans or giant storms. But Mercury is one of the most extreme worlds in the solar system. It lives closest to the sun. Its days can burn with brutal heat. Its nights can freeze in deep darkness. Its surface is scarred by ancient impacts, and in the shadows near its poles, ice may survive beside the heat of the sun. Mercury is not just a small rocky planet. It is a reminder that distance from the sun is not the only thing that matters. Atmosphere, rotation, surface, and shadow can change everything. A world can burn and freeze at the same time. And that is what makes Mercury unforgettable. The planet closest to the sun, but still full of cold, darkness, and mystery.